Today we will be sharing information out of chapters 4 and 5 of Patty Lane's book, A Beginner's Guide to Crossing Cultures.
The first subject we will be addressing is the value of activity. The value of activity answers the question, how does this culture define and perceive activity? There are two primary types, being and doing. Being cultures value relationships and quality of life, whereas doing cultures value success and results. In doing cultures, relationships are seen as mutually beneficial and fluid. It is possible for relationships to end without conflict. In being cultures, however, relationships are for life and are very deeply committed. People within the same culture usually have the same value of activity, but can express it differently. One biblical example of this is the story of Mary and Martha.
Luke 10:38-42. As Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, they came to a certain village, where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he taught. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, "Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me." But the Lord said to her, "My dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will be not taken away from her."
As you can see in this story, Mary and Martha each wanted to care for Jesus, but they expressed that in a different way. Martha was more focused on doing things like preparing the food and getting everything ready, but Mary, on the other hand, expressed her care for Jesus by being in his presence. A modern-day example of a being culture has two people at a coffee shop talking, and they happen to miss a meeting because they wanted to keep talking, versus a doing culture which wants to get to everything on time.
How is your sister doing these days?
She's doing great. She actually went on a business trip to San Diego, which was crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Where does she work again? I don't remember.
She works at Twin Cities in Motion as an online engagement specialist, and she got to do so much fun things there. I was really jealous.
Cool. That sounds great.
Hey, how is your sister doing?
She's really good. She has like a lot of different opportunities for this summer though, so she's kind of trying to like figure those out. She might go on a missions trip or like play softball or be in marching band. There's like a lot of different things she can do. But yeah, overall she's doing pretty good.
Cool, very cool. Oh my gosh, is that the time? I need to go. I have another meeting to go to. It was great talking to you. I gotta go. Hi.
Hey.
Sorry I was like 2 hours late. I was talking with a girlfriend.
Oh, it's okay. No worries. I was just having my mom on the phone.
Okay, perfect. So how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, I'm glad I made it on time.
Yeah, I have a lot of appointments after this, so it's perfect.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good. We can fit this in.
All right.
Now we would like to see how much you all understood about the differences in being and doing cultures. We are going to read several statements, and after each one, feel free to shout out whether you think it's from someone living in a being culture or a doing culture. Some of them are really tricky.
While I was at a meeting, I made many new friends.
I've lived here for 13 years, but I still don't have any friends.
I don't think we got much done, but we all had a good time.
I will need some help after my surgery, so I'll hire a nurse. I can't expect my friends to be able to come by because they're all so busy.
When she asked me to get involved, what choice did I have?
We hope that you are able to understand the difference between being and doing cultures. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to the value of authority?